gloomy forest was living up to its name. Almost as soon as the spook wagon had crossed its threshold, its driver, Mike Leader, was trying out a new shortcut, the sky had darkened. At first, Angie had put this down to the thick canopy of leaves above her. Then she realized that without any warning, storm clouds had gathered. There was no rain, but intermittent forks of lightning lit the darkness, followed by ominous rolls of thunder. The black, wizened trees formed ghoulish silhouettes, as if they were reaching out with sharp talons. A mile or so down the winding road, the van had broken down, the cause of its malaise unknown. Mike, a tall, blonde, handsome 19-year-old who dressed older, had looked under its bonnet, and Angie hadn't been able to resist peering over his shoulder. The van, she had been surprised to see, had an engine, or at least an approximation of one. For all she knew, it could have been a lump of scrap metal. "Well, gang," Mike had said, "it looks like we're going to have to find a garage." "You mean we've got to walk through this spooky old forest?" the skinny, nervous Tim Coward had wailed. "On foot, like? What if we run into a ghost?" "Oh, Tim," the dumpy Thelma Brains had groaned, huge eyes blinking through the lenses of her thick-framed glasses. "How many times do I have to explain to you that free-floating spectral manifestations cannot exist in the rational world?" "Still, perhaps Tim's got a point," the group's slender redhead Harmony Looker had said. "Perhaps somebody ought to stay to look after the van. It's got all our instruments inside." Angie had been left out of the ensuing discussion, and preoccupied with her own thoughts, she hadn't followed it too closely. She wasn't sure how it had come to be that Mike, Thelma, and Harmony had all got to stay in the warmth and relative safety of their vehicle, while a reluctant Tim had headed into the dark forest with only his pet dog for company. "What should we do until Tim and Fearless come back, Mike?" asked Harmony. "I don't know," shrugged Mike. And he and the two girls stared through the windscreen, occasionally blinking, but otherwise motionless. Angie paced restlessly outside, wrapping her arms about herself to stave off a chill wind, and wondering if she should have gone with Tim Coward after all. At least then she would have been doing something. When first she had flagged down the spook wagon and met the Skeleton Crew, a clean-cut teenage rock band with a shaggy canine mascot, she had thought they seemed fairly normal. She was in danger of revising that opinion. Then Tim returned, breaking through the trees at a run, his hair standing on end, his bony arms waving frantically, his dog at his heels. His friends jerked into action, leaping from the van to greet him, Mike shouting a concerned, "What's wrong, you guys?" "We ran into a ghost!" stammered Tim through chattering teeth. He pointed vaguely back the way he had come. Then he and Fearless dived beneath the spook wagon, although their shaking legs and Fearless's stumpy tail remained visible. Thelma folded her arms and smiled indulgently. "Oh, don't be ridiculous, you two. I already told you. There's no such thing as a ghost!" gasped Harmony, as a bizarre apparition came stumbling towards them. "You've got to be kidding," said Angie, joining the others to get a better look. "I believe I may be forced to reconsider my objections," wailed Thelma. Mike cried, "Let's skedaddle!" "It's a man with a luminous green sheet over his head," said Angie. But Mike, Thelma, and Harmony had already turned and, well, not fled exactly. Not yet. Their feet were pedaling the air with insane speed, but they didn't move forwards. "It's got eye holes," she said. "And look, you can see one of his shoes." The trio gained traction and shot away as one, as the ghost lumbered closer. It came to a halt as it saw Angie, and they regarded each other with mutual suspicion. The ghost raised its arms and tried an experimental "Ooh." "Oh, please,"